In Hide Yo Kids news.
Hide your kids.
Why we gotta hide our kids for?
Submitted by Garlic Naan?
Ooh. Oh, have you had garlic naan before?
Have you ever had coconut naan? That shit's
that's good.
I don't know if I've had Garlic Naan.
That's good.
How about regular naan? It's fine.
I forgot which Indian restaurant we went to, but they had a huge menu of like different roti and naan and like all kinds of shit. And I was like, man, if only I had a big stomach.
A Kentucky sheriff has suspended law enforcement in the area over a lack of funding.
Yo, I heard about
We
this.
broke.
That's crazy. No, they just shut down. They just said no more policing.
Yep.
You guys fucking save yourselves.
Yep.
Do they got guns at least over there, the private citizens?
So the sheriff posted this really long Facebook post, and at the end of it, he said, "Folks, lock your doors, load your guns, and get you a barking, biting dog. If the sheriff's office can't protect you, who will?" So they're pretty much saying that they're broke, that they haven't gotten money, like the money that they were supposed to be getting for the funding.
From the state or whatever? Yeah.
Was it during the shutdown?
Yeah, how does he not just go to like some
question.
government official or state official and just say like, yo, bro, we literally got no cash?
Maybe the whole state doesn't got cash.
Well, they didn't mention the government shutdown, but they were saying that it was just poor management of like the financial situation in Kentucky. So
I heard a lot of these like states that were heavily like dependent on like what do you call it? Like laboring industries. Like manufacturing,
Detroit and stuff.
coal and all
coal,
that too.
like yeah, things like that.
They get
That's
taxes from that, right?
that's their lifeline, that's their revenue. And then when the factory shut down and all those jobs went away, like I mean, that's how, you know, municipalities get paid, you know, like firemen, police, all that. So they get cut. Now what do? Especially if everyone's poor too, there's gonna be a higher crime rate. That sucks, man.
Does this say where? Is it like a city, a county, a neighborhood, a street?
Kentucky.
It must be a county, right?
It's one area, right?
Yeah, it just says area, but like,
yeah, so it's
Where's the colonel when you need him?
Marion County Sheriff's office, like the sheriff.
Can you imagine if like Kentucky Fried Chicken came out to rescue them? Because it's in Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
So that means Kentucky Fried Chicken needs to come out and save them.
They're not known as Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore.
They can't legally call it chicken, huh?
no. Is that the truth?
That's what I heard. That's what they changed
Then
it.
McDonald's can't call it a burger, probably.
I thought it was because it wasn't made in Kentucky anymore or some shit.
Well, they should go back to Kentucky.
I thought it was because maybe they just rebrand like healthier.
That could be it.
Because there's a bone inside.
That's
spider
the rumor I heard.
A lot of animals got bones.
I heard they got 8-legged chickens. So they got
8-legged
That
chicken.
sounds cute. It's like a spider chicken.
chickens. Yeah,
No way.
that's what I heard.
I would love to see
These are urban legends.
an 8-legged chicken. If it was healthy and live, that'd be it'd be cute. It'd be like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Cute.
Let me see. It's false about yours.
So it's an urban legend?
Oh wait, no, about mine.
You're a liar too.
What about
Okay,
eight-breasted chicken?
So Snopes, I looked up Snopes. It says the government forced KFC to stop using the word chicken in their name because they serve meat derived from mutant animals. That's false.
Oh.
I mean,
So
that
what
just
I heard
sounds
was
false.
false.
I wouldn't believe that.
Mutant animals sound so sketch.
So the citizens are forced to protect themselves.
Exactly, and so they're saying that the state police will occasionally patrol, but sometimes they.
Oh, because they got stadies over there?
Yeah, but sometimes they only have one officer patrolling multiple counties.
I heard that's the case for a lot of small towns and places like rural counties and stuff.
Yeah, one little
Yeah.
sheriff, one little fucking pen, like you see in like a Western movie.
That's
Yeah.
why the whole like gun argument, I think it should be regional. It should only apply not in a federal, like your small little county or that little area, because what applies in the major city doesn't apply to the rural counties. And they can't empathize for the situation. So for example, like let's say you're in Wyoming, right? And then you come from a little cow town or something, and there's only like, I don't know, 20 people. And your neighbor could be like acres or even miles away. So
That's different in San Francisco.
yeah, so what if there's a crazy person that comes into your farm or your ranch? How are you gonna protect
Well, I
yourself?
feel like no one's arguing against that. I think anyone, even that's against guns, is for someone in the middle of nowhere having one. It's not really that. I don't
But
think
where
that's
do
really
you?
an
But
argument.
that's what a lot of the argument is. We should get rid of these assault rifles, or we should get rid of all these high-powered rifles, which they don't even know what that means, right? And that's basically like where the argument is oh, you don't need this many bullets, you don't need this many whatever. But how can you say that to a person that's out there in the middle of nowhere
I don't
who
think
needs
they do that. I think they don't only argue that for people that live in the cities and where it's like unnecessary.
Right, but they don't specify that. They try to make a blanket law.
They do say ban all guns.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess.
So they're not
That's
thinking.
just the loud minority, though. I think most people are in the middle. They say if you're in the country, you can have your gun. That's
I think that most people
everyone else
that aren't public say that, but then the people that are pushing an agenda.
Yeah, most people with common sense who are not involved in
Yeah.
politics, they're thinking exactly that.
Do what fits you, but the people that are pushing agendas and what we see in the headlines that we see online,
Yes.
I think because assault rifle is like the buzzword, they're pushing none of these. But what they don't know is that you can make a traditional like bolt action hunting rifle. If you paint it black and you add accessories, it can look like an assault rifle. An assault rifle can also look like a bolt action rifle. Like you can add wood parts to it. So people are just kind of uninformed, and they're just putting a blanket statement over all situations. They're just trying to get rid of certain things.
Or like kids who grew up in upper middle class suburbs who just don't see the need for any guns at all. They grew up like thinking like there's no need for this.
Like, why can't we be like Australia?
Yeah, we should be like Australia and have it completely gone. But they're not thinking about, the ranchers in Arizona that live by the border and they have to deal with drug cartels that are driving through their property and threatening the town, and they don't know that situation. All they think about
They're in their bubble.
why do you need it? Like, yeah, I live completely safe. We're in the freaking 21st century. We don't need the guns. So I think that's the same. Like, this is a good example of when you actually need it. Like when your whole police department shuts down. That's
pretty wild.
And it's like, what the fuck?
You're gonna have a lot of people, like if that were to go through, then you're gonna have a lot of people that just don't know how to properly handle these firearms.
Yeah, and it's too late. By the time they shut down, it's like, you need a gun yesterday.
Yeah.
And you need to practice yesterday.
Yeah.
Do we have a population of this county?
No, they didn't mention that.
It's probably like 1,000.
Yeah, because I think it does matter, like kind of what Joe's talking about, like how that sheriff talks. Like if you talk that way in San Francisco, I think it would be like
Mass chaos.
it'd be just inappropriate to talk that way.
You get booted out probably.
I kind of agree with that. Like it sounds so alarming to me for him to speak that way.
Yeah.
But
It sounds like he knows everyone.
if he knows everyone and they're worried about external stuff, I get it. But if you're in San Francisco and say, load your guns, grab your pit bull, it's all out. You know, then you're like,
It's
fuck,
totally
dude.
different. That's what I
Then it
mean,
sounds like that movie Purge or whatever is about to happen.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, like location specific, right? In San Francisco, totally different situation. You probably have cops walking all over the place, so you feel safe. You have access to law enforcement that can show up faster, maybe. Like it's very different if you live in these areas.
It's crazy though to me. I'm not very political. Like I don't know how like the fucking tiers work. But like you'd imagine if this guy's lead sheriff or whatever, he could go to at least his mayor, let alone his governor. He could probably go to
He's
his
been
governor.
trying to keep it open for a long time. Even his wife, who has a full-time job, has been volunteering at the sheriff's office multiple nights, trying to keep it going. And he's like, I just can't do this.
But there has to be a
anymore.
process to like, even like people like if you guys had a huge issue, like you can write a senator or something. Like he's got to be able to go there, and then they got to be able to go to federal if needed. There has to be money somewhere.
I think because also we live in California, we have access to a lot of resources. Yeah. It's very, very different from rural towns. They're almost like a totally different,
towns.
yeah, it's a different country almost.
So it's about 11,000 population, by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
11,000?
Yeah, it's pretty small.
Yeah, that sheriff guy, he might even be a part-time Pizza Hut man.
Yeah.
You know, he just puts on a different hat and he's something else. So.
That's the size of like 2 high schools here.
Yeah, 11,000 is tiny.
It's like the cartoons when you go to a small town and then the gas station attendant is the mayor and is the hotel
I Love
manager.
Lucy episode.
Oh, yeah.
It can be like
Yeah,
that.
so this is John Kirk, the sheriff.
Good old sheriff.
Yeah, that's probably Domino's outfit.
Patches.
Yeah.
It's all Velcro.
Yeah.
Like a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm cooking pizzas right now. Get to your 911 call later.
But yeah, so he was just encouraging people of the county to attend the court meetings so they can know what's going on, and hopefully they can get funding.
Yeah, it sounds wild.
Hopefully they have enough stand-up citizens where nothing really happens and they just all watch each other's back.
Because it could
Because
turn
he
to
was saying
chaos.
that he can patrol during the day for a limited time, but then at night there's like zero patrolling. They have to rely on the state police, which doesn't have a lot of officers. So yeah.
That just sucks though, cause like I just can't imagine that happening in America.
Yeah.
You know, especially because we're like in LA. It just doesn't feel like that can happen here.
I kind of wish they didn't put this on the news, because then it seems like all the criminals are thinking like, oh, we could run a shit ton of stuff through here.
You think he could go to another county and say like, yo, bro, can we borrow 2 officers?
They do that though.
Yeah, because they do that a shit ton here with fires. Like our fires get so crazy up north or down here, and you're fucking traveling everywhere. They grab people from Nevada.
Yeah, and Las Vegas fire.
They also wear thin the other departments. So we have a buddy that's a sheriff, and sheriff, they're in charge of the entire county, LA County, which goes from like Santa Monica all the way up to Calabasas, all the way to like Big Bear, San Bernardino. But when the smaller city departments, when they need help, or if there's just things that are just like one-time incidences, like for example, like the Rose Parade, like Pasadena has Pasadena Police. Yeah. But when there's a Rose Parade and there's thousands of people, they just need backup. They need helicopters. They need all that. But so they all go there to support Pasadena. But when they do that, the other parts are also suffering. Sure. So they try. They really try to help each other. But and then there's the budgeting issue, because then when they're doing Pasadena stuff.
Who's paying them?
Who's paying them? Yeah, so Pasadena got to now send money.
And they don't have money.
Yeah, they got to like send money back and forth. It becomes like this big old business transaction.
My friend is a part-time volunteer officer in New Mexico. And so there's small towns all over that need help in the border states that don't really have enough staff. And so like, you know, if you want to, like you give your time, you could go through the whole thing and do volunteer work out there. So, and then you get a badge and you're a sworn officer and all that stuff. But there's programs like that are out there, but people don't know about them, that you can do it. But I think there's a lot of like, I guess, scarcity. There's not enough, you know, help in law enforcement, so.